Beloved soul, if you found this message today, do not scroll away, because this is not an accident. This is alignment. And what you are about to hear may explain the confusion, the silence, and the emotional pull you have been feeling lately. Before we go any further, take a moment right now to subscribe to this channel. Like this video and comment the word "ready" below, because when you engage, you signal faith, expectation, and openness to receive what heaven is revealing. This channel, Anointed Encouragement, exists to bring you daily angelic insight, spiritual clarity, and messages that reach the heart when God knows you need them most. So share this with someone who has been waiting for answers too. You are here because your soulmate has been holding something back, not out of deception, but out of fear, timing, and deep emotional conflict. What was hidden is now being uncovered, and the angels say this truth is arriving because your heart is finally strong enough to receive it. Stay with me. Listen closely and allow this message to unfold, because what you are about to hear was written long before this moment. There are seasons when souls recognize each other long before words ever do. And this connection you feel did not begin recently, it began spiritually. Your soulmate has carried feelings, realizations, and truths they did not know how to express. Not because they didn't care, but because they cared deeply. They hid this not to protect themselves, but to protect you. And now heaven says the silence can no longer continue. The angels say there has been an invisible conversation happening between your hearts. Even when physical communication felt limited or confusing, every unanswered question, every pause, every delay served a purpose, even if it felt painful at the time. God does not waste emotional seasons. He uses them to mature love, refine intention, and align timing. This is why you have felt drawn back to this person again and again, even when logic said move on. This is why memories surface unexpectedly, emotions rise suddenly, and dreams feel unusually vivid. Your soulmate has been wrestling internally with a truth they could no longer suppress, and that truth is now ready to be revealed. Scripture reminds us why timing matters. Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. What was hidden was not denied, it was delayed. And what is delayed by God is never abandoned, it is preserved. Your soulmate hid their feelings because they feared disrupting what God was still preparing. They sensed the weight of this connection and understood it was not casual, not temporary, and not ordinary. This is not a surface-level bond. This is covenant-level recognition. They questioned whether they were worthy, whether they were ready, whether they could meet you at the depth your soul requires. So instead of speaking prematurely, they chose silence, hoping clarity would come before words. The angels say that silence was not rejection, it was reverence. Many people mistake quietness for absence, but spiritually, silence can mean something is being formed behind the scenes. Your soulmate was growing, shedding old fears, healing wounds, and learning how to love without control or fear. God does not release truth until the heart carrying it can deliver it with purity. This is why the angels emphasize patience in this season, because revelation without readiness can harm what is meant to heal. Your soulmate is now stepping into honesty, vulnerability, and courage, not because pressure forced them, but because God aligned them. The Bible confirms this process. Proverbs 23. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. They guarded their heart not to shut you out, but to ensure that when they opened it, it would be real, stable, and sincere. What they hid was not love, but fear of losing you before they were fully prepared. What they concealed was not intention, but uncertainty about timing. And now the angels say the moment has arrived for truth to replace hesitation. You may notice signs increasing around you. Repeating numbers, sudden peace, unexpected memories, or a calm knowing you cannot explain. These are confirmations that what was hidden is coming to light. God often prepares the receiver before releasing the message. Your heart has been strengthened through previous disappointments. So this truth will not overwhelm you. It will clarify you. You are no longer who you were when the silence began, and neither is your soulmate. Growth happened on both sides. Even when distance or quiet existed, the angels say this revelation is meant to restore trust, not reopen wounds. It is meant to bring understanding, not confusion, and it will arrive gently, not forcefully. Because love from God always respects the heart. Remember this promise. Psalm 37:5. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will act. God is acting now, quietly, intentionally, and lovingly. What is coming is not chaos. It is clarity. Your soulmate's truth will explain behaviors that once confused you. It will answer prayers you whispered but never spoke aloud. And it will confirm that what you felt was never imagined. Take a deep breath. Allow peace to settle in your spirit. And prepare yourself to hear what was hidden. Because when God reveals, He does so with purpose, healing, and alignment. And this message is only the beginning. What your soulmate is about to reveal did not form overnight. It was shaped through inner battles, silent prayers, and moments where they almost spoke but held back. They carried this truth quietly, often wondering if revealing it would bring you closer or push you away. The angels say this hesitation came from depth, not indecision, and from care, not avoidance. Your soulmate recognized early that what they felt for you was different, deeper, and heavier than past connections. This awareness created both joy and fear, because when something feels sacred, the risk of mishandling it feels greater. They understood instinctively that careless words could damage something holy. So instead of rushing, they watched, they learned. They observed how God was shaping both of you separately. They noticed how life kept redirecting them, removing distractions and closing doors that no longer aligned. Every delay was part of divine refinement. The angels say your soulmate hid this truth because they were waiting for confirmation within themselves. They wanted to be sure their feelings were rooted in purpose, not loneliness, not attraction alone, but calling. They needed certainty before courage. Scripture explains this inner process. James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously to all without reproach. Your soulmate asked God repeatedly for wisdom, for clarity, and for peace about you, and God answered slowly but thoroughly. There were moments when they tried to move on, convincing themselves that silence was safer. Yet no matter how far they went emotionally, something always pulled them back to you. That pull was not obsession, it was alignment. The angels reveal that your names were spoken in prayer more than you realize. Your soulmate prayed for strength, timing, and the right words. They asked God not just for permission to speak, but for preparation to love correctly. This is why their energy toward you may have felt inconsistent at times. It was not because their feelings changed, but because they were battling between fear and faith, between protecting the connection and risking vulnerability. God does not rush revelations that affect destiny when hearts are involved. He works carefully, deliberately, and compassionately. Your soulmate's silence was part of that care. The Bible reminds us of this principle. Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Your soulmate planned many conversations, imagined many confessions, yet God redirected the timing, not to withhold love, but to mature it. Now you are both standing in a different emotional place than before. You are wiser, and more discerning. You are no longer seeking validation, but truth. The angels say this shift in you is why the revelation can now come without harm. You are ready to hear not just words, but intention. You are strong enough to receive honesty without losing peace. Your soulmate has reached a point where hiding feels heavier than speaking. Silence now feels like disobedience rather than protection. And God has begun nudging their heart firmly toward truth. They are realizing that love withheld too long becomes fear, not faith. They understand now that obedience sometimes means speaking even when outcomes feel uncertain. Faith requires movement, not just feeling. Scripture confirms this awakening. Galatians 5:25. Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Your soulmate is stepping now, trembling perhaps, but obedient, and heaven is supporting that step. You may soon notice changes in how they communicate. More openness, more vulnerability, more emotional presence. These are signs that truth is rising to the surface. The angels emphasize that what is revealed may not come perfectly. It may come awkwardly, emotionally, or in pieces, but it will come sincerely. Do not expect polished speeches. Expect honesty. Do not look for dramatic gestures. Look for alignment. God often speaks through humility rather than theatrics. What your soulmate hid was their fear of not being enough for you, their fear of repeating past failures, their fear of loving deeply and losing painfully. But love from God always invites courage, not comfort. And this season is about courage, not rushing outcomes, but releasing truth. The angels say this revelation will not demand immediate decisions from you. It is meant to inform your heart, not pressure it. God respects free will, even in destiny connections. Remember this promise, Isaiah 30:21. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." That guiding voice is active now for both of you, and it will not contradict peace as this truth emerges. Allow yourself to listen without defense, receive without assumption, and discern without fear. This is not about reliving the past. It is about understanding it and choosing wisely going forward. The angels say clarity is coming not to confuse you, but to free you, to remove lingering questions, and to bring emotional alignment where uncertainty once lived. Stay with me now, because this is where the meaning becomes clear, and where peace replaces uncertainty, and where purpose begins to rise above emotion. Everything that was hidden, delayed, or confusing was never meant to hurt you. It was meant to prepare you. God does not reveal truth to unsettle the heart. He reveals truth to settle it. The angels say this moment exists because both of you have reached a spiritual maturity that did not exist before. Earlier revelation would have created pressure, expectation, and fear. Now revelation creates understanding, stability, and choice. Your soulmate's truth is not arriving to force a future. It is arriving to honor honesty. God values truth spoken in the right season more than affection spoken in the wrong one. That is why heaven waited until your heart learned discernment, not desperation. You are no longer asking, why did they hide this? You are now able to ask, what is God building through this? That shift in perspective is evidence of growth. The angels say what comes next is not about chasing, convincing, or proving anything. It is about alignment, clarity, and allowing God to lead the pace. Love that comes from God does not need manipulation. It needs obedience. Your soulmate's revelation will close emotional loops that have stayed open too long. It will answer prayers you prayed quietly and then stopped praying because you got tired. God heard every single one. Scripture confirms this promise. Psalm 138:8. The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Fulfillment does not always look like immediate union. Sometimes fulfillment looks like understanding before direction. The angels emphasize that truth does not always mean instant togetherness. Sometimes it means emotional peace regardless of outcome. And peace is one of God's highest confirmations. You may discover that hearing the truth frees you even more than you expected. Not because it guarantees a specific ending, but because it removes uncertainty. Clarity allows you to walk forward without emotional weight. God never ties souls together to create bondage. He connects hearts to teach freedom, trust, and growth. That is what this revelation accomplishes. If this connection is meant to continue, God will sustain it without force. If it is meant to transform rather than remain, God will still bring beauty from it. Either way, nothing is wasted. The angels say you are entering a season where love becomes simpler. Not easier emotionally, but clearer spiritually. Confusion fades when truth stands in the light. This is why you were drawn to this message today. Your soul was ready to stop guessing and ready to start discerning. The Bible reminds us again. 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Peace is the signal you should follow now. Not urgency, not fear, not fantasy, as you move forward. Listen more than you react, pray more than you assume, and trust more than you control. Your heart is safe in God's hands. Your future is not fragile. And this truth does not diminish you. It dignifies you. Now, before we close, if this message spoke directly to your heart, take a moment to like this video. Comment below what part resonated with you, because your words may encourage someone else reading silently. And subscribe to Anointed Encouragement for daily angelic messages, spiritual clarity, and faith-filled reminders that heaven is still speaking. Share this message with someone who has been waiting for answers. Help this word reach the heart it was meant for. And stay connected here, because new encouragement arrives daily. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, and you are not alone. God is still writing your story, and this chapter is leading you toward peace.